7 such coincidences in the world that you will be surprised to know. Number 1. This is the story of Major Walter Summerford of the British Army, who was in the battlefield in 1918 during the World War II, when suddenly lightning falls on him, which causes damage to his waist. The lower part gets paralyzed. Then in 1924, after retirement, while fishing on the banks of a river, lightning again struck his body and the right side of his body also got paralyzed, but after 2 years of treatment, he completely recovered. But after 4 years, lightning again fell on him, due to which his entire body became paralyzed and he died within a few days, but even after his death, lightning did not leave him, and after 4 years, lightning fell on his grave, due to which his grave was destroyed. Edgar Allan Poe, a famous writer of No. 2 America, had written a fictional story in one of his books, The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket, in which he has mentioned about 4 sailors who were trapped in the sea after a terrible storm. They lose their way, and after the meal is over, 3 friends together kill and eat the 4th person, whose name was Richard Parker, but you will be surprised to know that after 46 years, music. Number 3, both Napoleon and Adolf Hitler were the most cruel in their time. They were rulers during whose rule crores of people lost their lives, but there are many similar coincidences between them, such as both of them were born not in the place where they ruled but in some other country, and also when Napoleon came to power. Exactly 129 years after that, Hitler came to power when Napoleon started the war against the Soviets. Exactly 29 years after that, Hitler also started the war against the Soviets, and what's more, when Napoleon lost the war against the Soviets. Exactly 129 years later, Hitler also lost the war against the Soviets. Number 4, a 15-year-old girl living in Ohio gave birth to twin children, but due to her young age, she could not raise these children, hence both the children were adopted by 2 different families living in Ohio, but even after living separately, there were such coincidences between these 2 brothers which even the big human behavior specialists and psychologists could not understand till date, like these 2 children. The families who adopted him named both the children James. When they started going to school, the favorite subject of both the children was math, and when they grew up, both of them got married to a woman named Linda shortly after the marriage. Both of them got divorced from their respective wives, and you will be surprised to know that both of them got married for the 2nd time, and the name of both the girls they married was Patty. Even both the girls already had 1 child each, whose first name was James. When these 2 brothers met after 39 years and shared with each other the similar coincidences that had happened in their lives, then both of them were surprised. These 2 brothers used to work almost in the same job, and also both used to own the same brand. Used to smoke alcohol and cigarettes. Were so many similarities just a coincidence or something else which is impossible to understand? Number 5, on May 21, 2001, a PC game was launched whose name was Deus Ex. The story of this game takes place in New York City, America. But the developers of the game accidentally forgot to add the Twin Towers of New York to the game. When this mistake was discovered by the game company that they forgot to add the World Trade Center to the map of New York City in the game, they changed the story of the game and showed that the Twin Towers were destroyed in a terrorist attack. Surprisingly, just 4 months after the launch of the game, these towers were destroyed in a terrorist attack on September 11, 2001. In which thousands of people lost their lives, after which this game also became very popular. Number 6. Look at this image carefully. You may also be feeling that these 2 women are twin sisters, but it is not so as seen in this image. The first woman is a famous Egyptian actress of the 1950s, Zoe Bidatharavatha, and the second woman is a famous Hollywood actress of today, Jennifer Lawrence. Surprisingly, the looks of both of them match exactly, and the work of both is also different, just at different times. 7. This story is about a man named Frank Selleck, living in Yugoslavia, who is also called the luckiest man in the world because many such incidents have happened in his life which are very difficult to believe, like Selleck died somewhere by train in the year 1962. They were going, but the train meets with an accident and falls into the river, in which 17 people lose their lives, but Selleck survives the accident, even after breaking one of his arms, he swims out of the river a year later in 1963. Selak was traveling by plane and that plane also met with an accident, but when Selak woke up, he was in the hospital because at the time of the accident, he flew out of the plane and fell on a heap of grass. Then in the year 19636, they were traveling in a bus and that bus also meets with an accident in which 4 people die but Selak is saved again. After this in 1970, he was going somewhere with his car which suddenly catches fire and as the car explodes but he gets out of his car just before the blast and survives this accident too. Similarly, in 1995, he again survives a bus accident and in 1996, Selak also survives a truck accident. And not only this, in the year 2003, he bought a lottery ticket for the first time and won Indian rupee million in the very first time. That is why he is called the luckiest man in the world, although some people also call him unlucky because he has many. What would you like to call the accidents that happened? Do tell us by commenting in the comment box, and if you liked our video then do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.